This is Patricia Dacre with Dragonfly Lights. I am a diabetes coach and bringing you a video today with one of my diabetes coaching tips. So I'll talk first a little bit about what coaching is. And so much like a coach that coaches sports takes the individual player and helps them with the rules, right? Everybody has the rule book for the game. And then that coach helps them with new perspective, different ways of looking at it, and helping to improve the skill from a third person perspective. I do the same thing with diabetes. So diabetes, if you think about what your doctor does, he's the rule book. What to do, what not to do, how to play the game, what the rules are, who the players are, what's supposed to happen. And then you get sent home with those rules. And a lot of times carrying them out every day, day in and day out, is really challenging because it sounds easy, but then when it comes down to enacting those things and actually living them out, a lot of different factors come into play: your work, your life, your family, finances, all these other things, and especially what goes on in here. And I find that a lot of my experience in the healthcare profession and as a type 1 diabetic, nobody really helped me with that. So that's really what my mission is, to bring those sort of skills to people who are struggling with diabetes, because that's where I found my peace. So start right there. So the thing that I'm going to talk today about is forgiveness. And so when we think of forgiveness, usually forgiveness is centered around something where there's been an injustice, right? Someone's hurt you, someone's done something wrong to you, something bad happened, you feel hurt, you feel angry. If we don't find forgiveness, what we tend to do is hang on to those emotions. So even though the event may have happened yesterday, 2 days ago, a week ago, a year ago, we still are feeling those emotions today. So we're bringing stuff from our past into our present, which then impacts our future, right? So it has a huge ripple effect, if you will. And so when we find forgiveness, we can let go of some of that stuff of the past. And I think we've all heard this. It's easy to understand, but harder to do, is that in forgiving, we are the beneficiary, right? We feel better when we let go of that hurt and that pain, and we're not carrying that forward with us. So when we talk about forgiving in diabetes, if you think about the people that you think you probably should forgive, and I'll let you create that list in your head, but there are a lot of times things happen. People say things, with the diabetes lifestyle, there's just unknowns. With anybody's lifestyle, there's unknowns. But when we think of that list of people that we need to forgive, it can be quite long. But if you have that list in mind, I want you to do one thing and think about the person who's at the top of that list. And if it's not you, I want you to rethink your list. So I think the number one person we have to forgive when we're dealing with diabetes is ourselves. So I think most people I've met that have diabetes feel some bit of guilt, of remorse, of shame about putting their families and friends through what we have to go through, to watch us stick ourselves with needles and stick our fingers and understand the financial burdens that we are, leaving with our family, to understand how scary it may be for them when our blood sugar is low or high. We carry that burden because we bring that to the table. And I find that a lot of times people are easy to forgive others, but less so for themselves. So the first person, we have to forgive ourselves for not being perfect. We didn't ask for this. We didn't do anything to get it. It just is. And it's the truth. If you live with diabetes, you have it. And yes, it does impact other people, but you need to forgive yourself, because that's where some of the healing. If you can't forgive yourself, other people will find it hard as well. Like I said before, when you're pulling pain from the past into the future, it gets very heavy, right? It feels very heavy. And so when you're not forgiving yourself for your lifestyle and who you are, your life can start feeling heavy, right? You have a lot of doubt and worry, and you're beating yourself up in your head. But when you forgive, you feel a little bit lighter. The other thing about forgiveness is you kind of have some choices. So you can let it go and put it aside and never think of it again. Or you can actually look at whatever the bad thing was that happened, look back and see if there's a lesson or anything you can learn. Because then, instead of just leaving something heavy behind you, and maybe that's what you need to do, but many times we find that there's a little nugget of truth or something for us to learn. So then instead of bringing pain from the past into our present and onward to our future, we're learning from our past behavior, from our failures and the things that we didn't do right, and we're carrying those new life lessons with us. That actually has a lightening effect, right? We feel lighter, we feel less burdened. And so that would be a good place to start. So think about your list of who you need to forgive. Make sure that you're on the top of it. Be kind to yourself. Treat yourself like you would want others to treat you. Uh, it's all about, excuse me, persistence, not perfection, right? There is no perfect. There is no perfect. We just have to keep playing this game day in and day out as best we can. And every day is not going to be a home run. That's just the fact. So if you're struggling, if you know someone that's struggling, if you're having a hard time forgiving yourself, if diabetes is just really holding you down, I would love to speak with you about that. You can reach me on my website, put something in the comments, um, and I will reach back to you. But that's what I'm here for. I can do it in person if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or we can also connect via Skype. So give yourself a break, put a smile on your face, feel better, and get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Bye.